The drama surrounding Shadur Sanders has officially crossed into territory that no longer feels like rumor, speculation, or online conspiracy. What unfolded on ESPN Cleveland wasn't just another hot take or heated debate. It was an on-air confession. A full-blown admission from Browns insiders that something was fundamentally wrong from the very beginning, that agendas existed inside the building, and that those agendas directly shaped how Shadur Sanders was treated before he ever had a real chance to show who he was. This wasn't whispered off the record or hinted at through coded language. It was said plainly, out loud, for everyone to hear. Insiders admitted there were multiple agendas in play, that certain people had already chosen who they wanted under center, and that the process was never about merit alone. That single moment cracked the entire narrative Browns fans had been fed all season. Because once you admit agendas existed, you also admit that the evaluation process was compromised from day one. What makes this so explosive is not just that agendas existed, but that reporters themselves admitted they became mouthpieces for those agendas. They acknowledged they were fed information by the organization, information designed to shape public perception of Shadur Sanders as unready, underdeveloped, and incapable. And instead of independently questioning it, they repeated it. They sold it to fans. They defended it on air. And now, after Shadur finally got on the field and delivered undeniable production, they're being forced to walk it back in real time. That is almost unheard of in professional sports media. Reporters openly admitting they were misled, that they swallowed what the organization told them, and that they helped push a narrative that turned out to be completely false. That alone should make every Browns fan furious. Because this wasn't harmless chatter. This narrative influenced how fans viewed Shadur. It influenced how his confidence was publicly discussed. It influenced how pressure was applied to keep him buried on the depth chart. And the most damning part is that the data never supported the story being told. Going all the way back to training camp in Berea, the Browns' own internal quarterback tracking showed Shadur Sanders performing at the highest level in the building. Completion percentage, accuracy, decision-making, all of it. He was outperforming veterans, outperforming rookies, outperforming everyone. That wasn't opinion. That was measurement. Yet despite that, he was buried as the fourth-string quarterback. Not eased into competition. Not developed with intent. He was effectively erased. Told he would be redshirted. Told he wouldn't see the field. And that alone tells you everything. You don't redshirt the best-performing quarterback in your building unless performance was never the point. When insiders were asked directly whether Shadur was the best quarterback in camp, the answer was immediate and clear. Yes. The tracker showed it. And when they were asked if it bothered them that the organization couldn't identify the best quarterback in their own building, the answer was also yes. That moment should haunt this franchise. Because it confirms that the Browns didn't just make a mistake. They ignored their own evidence. And that's where Kevin Stefanski's role becomes impossible to ignore. For 2 full months, he didn't even say Shadur's name publicly. Think about that. A quarterback on the roster. A rookie drawing attention nationally. A player outperforming others in practice. And the head coach refused to acknowledge his existence. That isn't coincidence. That isn't oversight. That's intentional. What makes it even more troubling is that ownership publicly emphasized the importance of getting rookie quarterbacks game experience. That message was clear. The priority was development. The priority was preparation for the future. And yet, the rookie who was performing best was the one denied opportunities, while others were elevated. That contradiction exposes where the agenda truly lived. This wasn't ownership-driven. The owner was seen publicly supporting the Sanders family. The owner spoke about development. The disconnect came at the coaching level. And insiders have now said it plainly. Stefanski didn't want any part of Shadur from day one. Once you accept that reality, everything else starts to make sense. The depth chart decisions. The silence. The leaks about work ethic. The stories about development struggles. All of it fits into a single pattern. Control the narrative. Bury the player. Justify the decision after the fact. And that's where the psychological damage becomes clear. Imagine being a rookie. You show up. You perform. You outperform. And instead of being rewarded, you're told it doesn't matter. You're told you won't play. You're told the door is closed. Staying fully engaged in that environment is nearly impossible. And then when the natural effects of that treatment appear, those same people turn around and point at you as the problem. That isn't development. That's sabotage. It's creating conditions for failure and then using that failure as justification. And it happens more often in the NFL than fans like to admit. But what makes Shadur Sanders different is that he didn't break. He didn't fold. He didn't lash out. He stayed prepared. He stayed locked in. And when injuries and circumstances finally forced the Browns to put him on the field, the truth exploded into the open. 364 yards. 4 touchdowns. Command. Poise. Leadership. Comeback drives. Records broken. Suddenly, every excuse collapsed. Suddenly, the lies couldn't survive contact with reality. And now the same insiders who helped push the false narrative are being forced to admit what happened. That's why this moment feels bigger than one player. This is about how agendas distort organizations. About how ego overrides evidence. About how careers can be delayed or damaged by personal bias rather than performance. Shadur just happened to be strong enough, prepared enough, and supported enough to survive it. And now the tables have turned. The coach who tried to bury him is under scrutiny. The reporters who repeated the narrative are backtracking. The organization is exposed. And Shadur is the one standing tall, proving on the field what should have been obvious from the beginning. The upcoming stretch is brutal. Elite quarterbacks. National spotlight. No hiding. And that's exactly what makes it powerful. Because if Shadur continues to perform, there will be no room left for excuses. No room left for agendas. No room left for denial. So now the question belongs to you. What do you make of insiders admitting there were deliberate agendas from the start? Do you believe this was professional negligence? Or something more personal? And how should the Browns be held accountable for nearly burying a franchise quarterback before he ever got a fair shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want real breakdowns that cut through the noise and expose what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because this story isn't over, and the truth is still coming out.